钮。7月16号，引汉济渭工程正式通水。未来呢，每年将会有10亿立方米的汉江水流入到关中平原。
Dear viewers, my name is Yuan. I'm from Xi'an Television. I'm right now at the water diversion project. On July the 12th, the water project was put into operation. In the future, it would produce or provide 1.2 billion cubic meters of water. So the water diversion project is the first phase. It is able to divert water from Han River to Wei River in Shaanxi province. In the second and third phase, we would be able to divert the water from Han River to major basins and counties and areas in the middle of Shaanxi province. So we are right now at the connection point of these two rivers. So in today's program, we have with us Mr. Zhang, who is a general manager of this project. Good afternoon to all the viewers. So Mr. Zhang will give us a general introduction about this project. Through this project, through this map, we can have a holistic view of this project. So this is truly a very big project, divided into 3 phases. And this is the graphic map, and you can see that the blue dashes, they are the Phase 1 diversion project. The 2 blue lines, they are Phase 2, and this one, the blue line is Phase 3 project. So these are the 3 phases of our project. Well, put simply, we have the Sanhekou water hub transport, Sanhekou water hub transport system, and also this Gold River project. So basically, they are going to divert water from the Han River to Wei River and to both waterfronts of Wei River. And on this side is the Hanjiang Gorge water project, and actually it is able to provide more than 1 billion cubic meter water to the Guangdong plain. It is also able to produce 387 million kilowatt hour of electricity. And in 2018, the project was kicked into construction, and the construction actually was divided into 2 phases, one on the north side and the other on the south side. And in November 2021, the water channel was made through, and in June 2023, the lower part of the project was verified, and this project was officially put into operation. So the 2 water channels here, they can reserve water, they can also support power generation. And you can see that the water is actually from the tributary of Han River, and each and every year it is able to provide 500 million cubic meters of water to the Guangdong plain. So this reservoir has the total capacity of 710 million cubic meters. So it is a big reservoir that can adjust the flow capacity of the river, and in connection with 2 other water channels, this is truly a very well-functioning river. And we studied this project in 2017, and in 2019, the dam was
所以说，我们
basically
这个
completed.
三河口水利枢纽，
And
包
in
括这个黄
February
金峡水利枢纽，
2021,
一共可以每年
water
向
started
我们的
to
这个关
gather
中平
here,
原运
and
水，一共是15亿
in
立
the
方米。
first half
那
of
15亿立方米
2022,
是什么样一个
electricity
概
was
念呢？我
produced
们用这个西湖的容量去类比的话
on
，15
this
亿立方米
reservoir.
大约就是这个100
So
个西
each and every
湖
year,
的这个
in
储水
together,
量，
we
所以
can
会
provide
极大的
1.5
缓解我
billion
们关中平
cubic
原地
meters of
区
water.
缺水和用
Well,
水
this
紧
is
张的问
equivalent
题。
to the
我们现
capacity
在
of
是在这个
100
黄石沟配
West
水枢
lakes.
纽，黄石沟配水枢纽是
So that
2021 年
means
开始建设，那
the
在
water
2023年，也就是
shortage
今
of
年的6月份
Guangzhou
正式完
plain
成了
could
这
be
个验收。
significantly
那在7
mitigated.
月16号
So
的时
we are
候
right now
正式
at
通水。
the
那整个这个黄石沟建设包括哪些部
water
分呢？请赵经理来给我们介绍一下。
project
黄石沟枢
site,
纽是咱
and
们
in
野寒基委一期
June
调水
2020, the
工程和2
project
期输配
was
水工程的一
officially
个连接中枢，
verified, and
主要
last
承
year
担向南干线、北干线
it was
水量
put
的一个配给任
operational
务。通俗一点讲，
from
就
a
是说
water
通
engineering
过
project.
一期的汉江水，通过秦岭输
So this
水
is
动，
actually a
再通过分
connecting
水池，然后才能输到
site
南干线、北干线。
connecting the
它主要是采用的一池
north line
两进
and
三出
the
的
south
形式
line.
进行布置。主要的组成呢就是分水池，
So basically, we are able to
这是我
divert
们
the
身后的
water
这个区域，实际我们
into two
然后
different
这个池洲
directions.
的进出水闸，然后还有这个泄洪设施，然后就连接洞、连
And
通
we
洞。
have
主要
a
是这么
diversion pool,
包括我们旁边的
which
这
is
个南坝其
right
实是在
behind
这次
us.
建设当中。
And we also have
这是为
the
了修建这分水池，对于
chief
边坡
water
进行了必
gate.
要的开挖。开挖之后了，由于这个边坡的稳定性相对弱一些，
And you can
都
see
采用
that
的
the
瓦
southern
板、锚索进行了加
dam
固，
is actually
保证边
under
坡以后长期
construction.
的运营稳定安全。
好，那我们现在来通过这个航拍镜
So
头给
we
大家
have
来看一下我们
consolidated
现
the
在所
slope
在的黄石沟配
because
水
of
枢纽的一个
the
地理位置
fragile
啊。我现在面向
land
的这个方
structure
向
here.
呢，就
So
是
we
正北
consolidated
方。
the
那前
slope
方大家可以看到我
with
们这个整个枢纽是
concrete
被
steel.
山环绕起来。那前方这块有一个豁口，从这里看出去呢，就是我们这个关中平原，也就
So
是
you
引
can see
汉基卫
I'm
工程将要
right
灌
now
溉的地方
facing
呢，就是我
north.
们的这个正
And
北
you
方
can
底下的
see
关中
that
平原。
this
那在我身后呢，
hub is
整
actually
个的这个
surrounded
黄石沟
by
配水枢纽都是被
mountains
山
on
所
all
环绕。
three
然后
sides.
身后这个
And
南
we
边的
have
山
only
就
one
是这
opening
个秦岭山脉啊。所以
area
说，我们黄石沟配水枢
in one
纽也是
direction.
这
And
个
behind me, you can
秦
see
岭疏水
that
隧
the
洞运来汉江
Huangshi
水到
Valley
达这个关中平原的
water
第一站。
supplement
那它在
project
整
is
个我们
surrounded
引汉
by
基卫工
the
程里面
Qinling
起着一个
Mountains.
什么样的作
So
用？
you can see that the
它
water
起到一个
supplement
中枢
project
调蓄，由
is
它
the first stop
由这个地
when
方开始进
the
行水量
water
分配，
of Han
这就
River
是它的
comes
最
into
主要的任务。
this part of the province.
另外
So
一
the
个
main
就是
function of
跟
this
配合的具
site
有输水
is
渠道，形成一个互联互通、互为备
is
用
the
的一个
hub.
作用。
And
这是
from
另外一个
here, water is
好，
diverted
那我们来往中
into
间走一下
different
看一下啊，
channels.
这个分水池刚
And
刚
the
也
other
讲到它
key
的这
function
个运行机
of
制
this hub
是一
is
池两
to
进
make
三
connection
出。
with
那
the
这
other
6个字怎么去
waterways
理
here
解
so that we can
一池呢，就是咱目前看的
reserve
这
some
个
backup
分
water
水池。这
for
个分水池啊是
emergent
长
uses. So
105
we
米，
have
宽35米，
one
水深
reservoir,
是
we
7米
have
到9米2，
multiple
不容
channels,
是按照
inlets and
2.2
outlets here.
万立
So
方
this is
设
the
计
water
的。
diversion pool
然后长水位
with
呢是
a
在514.88，
sides of
就是目前看到那个水尺的位置，基
35
本上
by
跟这个水位，
35
基本就是这个
meters.
水位的高度。
And it has
然
a
后
capacity of
两
more
进
than
对于分水池呢是2
22,000
进。
cubic meters.
在咱们现场看的呢，就是右手看到的这
And you
2
can
个
take a look
出
at
口。
the
对于
water
隧洞它
level
叫出口，对于
or
分水池
water
呢
mark.
叫进口、进水口。最远处的
It
就是
has
是秦岭输水隧洞，
two inlets and
98.3公里
three
的秦岭输水隧
outlets.
洞。一期的汉江水
And
通过
these
秦
are
岭输水
actually
隧洞，
two
这个
channels
进入
or
到
tunnels
进入到
on
分
the
水池。
pond.
这个
So we
进出这
have
个
two
连接
inlets
洞
where
出
water
口
can come
是
in
跟
and
通
three
过隧道
outlets
形式
where water
跟黑河水库
comes
进行
out.
连接，实现跟黑河
It
水
is
库
through
的
this pool that
连
the
通。
water enters into the
两进
diversion
啊
project.
那我们这个左手边这
And we
3个
built two
对，左手这边
tunnels
是3出。对于这个
that
隧
is
洞这几
connected
个结构
to
物，
the
它就叫进口。所
Heihe
以说现在这
reservoir.
边标的叫进口。
So
这个
these are
分
the
水池就是出
two
口。咱从最
inlets.
近的这一个
And
开
on
始
our
说，
left hand,
是
we
黑河
have
供水
three
连通洞进口。
outlets.
这个也是通过一个隧道 进入到黑河
And
既
you can
有输水
you
管
can
网，
see the
实
sign
现跟
on
黑河渠道的连通。
this part of the structure. It is
这个就
the
是分水的
outlet
水
that is transporting the water to
先后经过黑河、渭河、
Heihe River.
武功呢，然后再向东。
Here on this side, we have the North Mainline
礼泉、
Inlet.
咸阳。
On the left side, we have the inlet that is
然后最
actually
远处呢是南干线的进
connected
水口。
to the Black
南干线
River,
也是
and the water can
先后经过
reach Liquan, Xianyang, and Jingyang. So all the different destinations along the waterway.
以上几个
And
区域相应的
at the south part,
供水。
我们来看一下整个现在这个分水池里面的水啊，看上去是比较平静的啊，包括我们这个右上方这个秦岭隧洞出口里面的这个水流下来也是比较平静的。这个秦岭输水隧洞全长是98.3千米，那我们 这个水的这个流向呢，其实它是把我们起点的位置，就是这个隧洞起点的地方提高了这个大概35左右，然后让它通过我们这个地心引力重力的作用，这样流入到了这个现在所在的黄石沟这个配水枢纽。所以大家看到那个洞口啊，它这个汉江水流出来是比较
so the water is elevated to this level, and so it flows into the Huangzhigou water diversion project through Earth's gravity. So that is why it's actually very steady. It doesn't feature a very drastic flow. In Huangshan section and Yuling section, we have altogether 98.3 kilometers of
秦岭输水隧洞呢，全长是98.3千米，但是呢，它一共是建了16年，从这个2007年开始开始勘探啊。
So
一直到
it's
今年，
basically
也就是
relying
2023
on
年才全部建好。
gravitational
那
pull.
在这16年当中，建设
So
可以说是这
altogether
是
this
我们整个
project
引汉基
has
卫工程里
been
面比较难
under
攻的
construction
一
for
个节点，
17
但是
years.
它又是整个工程里面非常
Went
重要的一
through
个控制性的一个
2006
工程，
to
它
2023.
相当于我们整个
Over
引
the
汉基
past
卫工
16
程的一
years,
个大动脉一样，需要把这个水
this
通
has
过
been
它
a
来运过来。
main
那
and
这里
difficult
面很多很多的难
project
点。
in this
我们
part
先
of
来
the
给大家讲
country,
一下
and
这
it
个
is also
第一
a
个难点。
very
首先我们
important
要在秦
control
岭里面
project,
去打一条地
and
下
that
的
means
隧道，那
this
这也
is
是
the
人类
artery,
这个首次
because
从
water
地下
has
穿
to
越
pass through
秦
this
岭。
area
我们这个全
if
长
it
是
wants to go
刚
to
刚
the
讲的
other
98.3，
parts of
但是
the
我们
region.
向下，也
So
就是向地
first
下
we
埋
need
深达
to
到了
dig up a
2012
underground
米。
tunnel.
所以在地下2
So
公里
this is
的
the
位
first
置，我
time
们
that human
打了
beings
这样
has
的一
ever
个隧洞，
crossed
将
the
水
Qinling
运过来。
Mountains through
它的难
underground.
度是非常
As
大
I
的。首
mentioned
先
that
第一
we
点，我
have
们
the
说一下这
total
个秦岭
length
山
of
脉，
the
它的这
water
个地
channel,
质非常的复
which
杂，
is
所以它的这个
98.3
岩石，它的这
kilometers.
个强度、硬
We
度非常非常的
dig a hole
难
or
攻。
dig a
那
tunnel
可以达到
that
这个
is 2
306
kilometers
兆帕。
below the ground level. So in this part of the country, the mountains they have a very sophisticated
我们这个
landscape,
大家平时所用的这个不
and the
锈
water
钢，
pressure
不
is
锈钢
actually
日常生活中能够使
306
用的。那
pa.
我们这个岩
So
石它会
in
比不
plain
锈钢
language,
还要硬，还要这个难破。
and that
那
means
第二
you
点呢，
have
是
to
我们这
use
个
the
整个建
stainless
设里面的
steel
这个成本非常非常的高。我们一个这个挖
because
掘的这个刀头
it
就
is
需要5
very
万元，
difficult
但是每一天可
to
能需要
break
更
through
换这个5到
the
10
very
个刀
hard
头左
mountain
右，
stones,
所以它的成本非常的
and
大。
the drilling
第
head
三个就是受我们
has
这
to
个
be
环境因素的影
replaced
响，
every
因为
day
在秦岭
by
底
the
下你
amount
要
of 5
穿
to
这样一
10.
条隧道，其
And
实
also
有
each
很
drilling
多
head
地
is
质
very
灾害会发
expensive,
生。首
and
先第
we
一个
also
就是这
face
个岩爆。那到目前为止呢，一共是发生
unimaginable
了4万
difficulties
余
in
次岩
terms
爆，
of
最严重的一次
geological
造
disasters,
成了
and
这
we
个
have
1.6
rock
级的一个地
explosions,
震。
and we have
还有一
encountered
个，我
actually
们从地下
40,000
传过去就会
explosions
可能会
of
碰到这种像
rocks,
暗河呀，或
and
者
the
是
most
地
severe
下
one
的这个
caused
裂缝啊，
an
会有这个
earthquake at
突
the
涌
magnitude
水。
of
那
1.6.
涌水
And
涌
if you
出
are
曾经
digging
最多的
underground,
时
you
候，一
could
天这个涌出
encounter
了
some
4.6万
fractures
立方米
underground
的涌
or
水。我们
some
工人
hidden
1000个工人花了
springs
这个
underground,
75
and
天的时
at the
间才
most
把这个所有的
difficult
浮涌
day,
水全部抽
we
干。
had
这个是
more
环
than
境因素
1,000
的影
people
响。
who
那
spent
还有就是我们工人
75
的
days
施工的这
to
个条件。
pump out
我们
all
往
the
地下这个
water
2000
from
米
the
左右
underground
的
spring.
这个地方去
So these are
输
the
送工人。首先，它这
environmental
个距离是非
challenges,
常非
and we
常
also have
长
very
的，而且工人
challenging
从他
work
这个
conditions
我们
because
居住的
we
这个
have
地方。
to
一直要到这个
transport all
洞
the
里先通
workers
过一个支洞，可能半个
to
小
2
时左右的时
kilometers
间，然后到达
below
了
the
我们要
ground
施工的
level,
这个
and
地
they
方，
have
再
to
坐
walk
这
a
个
long
半个小
journey
时的这个
for like half an
车
hour
才能到
from
达我
where they
们地
live
下的施
to
工现
where they
场。
should be working. And after they arrive at the designated site underground, they have to take on a different vehicle and spend another 2 hours to arrive at the construction site. And it is super humid underground, and it is also super hot. So it's super hot and super humid underground. But construction workers, they have to be there every day, and every day they have to spend 10 to 12 hours underground working on this project, and sometimes they have to travel 16 kilometers per day. And a lot of the time is actually spent on the commune road. Because of the high humidity and the high temperature, they actually spend only 8 hours literally working underground. So that's why we spent roughly 16 years on this project. That is why we have the water that is flowing very steadily in front of us. The water actually comes from Hanjiang River, and we have 2 water inlets on our left, and on our right, we have 3 outlets. And we have a watermark that is 514.3, sorry, 14.8. And this is actually a dynamic. It is changing every day. But we strike a dynamic balance. And let me ask our engineer, how do you do that? Well, we have to analyze the amount of water coming from the upstream and also the need of water from lower stream. And then, on the basis of that, we design and determine how much water we should pump from the upstream. So this is a result of coordination between different stakeholders, and we have many different departments working on this project. Because we are connected to the Qinling or Qinling Mountains inlet, so we have one general coordination center for this project, which is responsible for calculating the water needed at different stations, and then commands are given to different stations, and we actually have some control over this project as well. For example, we have a lot of water gates, and they are actually controlled by the people working here. Yes, you're right. This is only part of the control system. We have the water gates, and we have commands from the General Coordination Center that is telling us how to adjust the volume of the water.
到时候它会普及到我们西安市以及这个关中平原沿岸的一些城市。
Right now we have 2 outlets that are not operational. In the future, they will transmit water to Xi'an and to areas around Xi'an. So this is the south line. The south line is able to transmit water from the Huangshigou water supplement hub to Huiyi, to Chang'an, to Bahe. So this is phase 2 project of the southern line, which is 100 kilometers long. And the phase 3 project goes from Bahe water plant to Weinan and all the way to Huazhou district. So this is phase number 3. And up here we have the Northern Line project. For phase 2 project, we have Huangshigou section to Zhouzhi to Wugong and to the new area, which is 89 kilometers, and the phase 3 project of the North Line connects Sanyuan to Yanliang and Fuping. So if you put together phase 2 and phase 3 projects, you can significantly relieve the water shortage in Xi'an, Weinan, and Xianyang. So on both sides of the Weihe all the 11 key counties and all the key industrial parks, they can have much more water. And a total of more than 11 million. A total more than 11 people can benefit from this project because they can expect much more water following the completion of this project. And the Phase 2 and Phase 3 project at the south and north line, they are still under construction, so we can only show you this much of the project at the time being. But as you have just seen, they are closely connected. The Heihe Reservoir is the key source of water for Xi'an City, and the Heihe Reservoir, once it is connected to Huangshigou, they can supplement water to each other. And through this map, you can see very clearly. And from here, you can also see the water channels underground.
野韩基卫的引水系统和既有黑河管区系统的一个平面布置图，现在就是通过一个连通洞、一个连接洞，现在就实现了2个供水系统的互联互通、互为备用。就是其中有一个系统需要检修或者有特殊事项需要冲水，另外一个系统。
And we have two water channels because in case one runs into problem, we can use the other one. This is like a fail-safe mechanism.
那就可以说，未来西安其实是有2套供水系统互为保障的。比如说黑河金盆水库如果需要检修的话，那我们所有的这个供水会通过黄池沟的这个渠道这2个干线运到我们这个关中平原里面。如果这里它需要检修的话，那我们汉基卫过来的水可以通过这个管道连到这个黑河这个方向，然后再运送到我们这个关中平原地区。
Heihe Reservoir, and then the water will be transmitted to Guangzhou Plain. So through this connecting channel, we can pump water to
就是一方出现问题，其实另一方就完全能承担起这个供水的这个功能在。
So once when one line is in problem, we can immediately activate the other line.
好，那我们现在所在的这个位置呢，其实是2期工程的一个起点位置。我们现在1期工程这个调水工程其实已经完全的这个
And actually, the water diversion project for Phase 1 has been completed, and water is already flowing. And for Phase 2 and Phase 3 projects, we are currently constructing this project. So when do you expect this can be finished? So Phase 2 kicked off in the end of 2022, and right now we have been working on this project for like 2 years. Right now, for Phase 2 project, we are making important breakthroughs. We're making very meaningful progress, and we expect that by 2026, we can complete all the different processes and projects. So what are the key challenges for Phase 2 project at the south line? Do you have any channels to dig? Take a look at the red line. We have a 69-kilometer tunnel, and according to our design scheme, we have more than 17 tunnels. 沿线的不良地址比较多，目前的施工压力。So we also have a lot of very fragile land structure at the south line. 都是 PCC 管，目前已经大部分都已经施工完成了。产河渡槽 and most of the projects at the first session of Phase 2 project at the south line, they have been completed, and we're also making meaningful progress
剩下的是还
the
有3条
second section of the south line.
穿越黄土段的
And then
盾构
we
隧洞，
have
神
3
河园、少林园、白鹿园，
tunnels
都是以
crossing
盾构
the
形式，
Yellow River,
施
the
工，
Bailu Yuan Tunnel, the
目前也都在有序
Changhe
推进。
Channel, and the Shaolin Yuan
那
Tunnel.
整个这个工程会在这
So
个
we're making steady
26
progress
年正式的这个
with
完
all the
工。
different
那到时候整
sections.
个这
So
个
in general,
汉基围
by
工程其实就算
2026, the
全部
project
完
could
工
be
了。那这
finished,
个水源就可
and
以
that
供
marks
到这个
the
渭河
final
以及这个关中平原地区。
point
那大家可以
for the
通过这个
entire
画面看到，我们
water
肉
diversion
眼去
project
看这个
from
水是感觉还是
Hanjiang-to-Weihe
比较
River.
清澈的啊。我们刚刚也这
So
个
if
打
you
了
look by
从底
naked
下
eyes,
取了一
you
点
can
水
see
样来，大家
that the
看一下，
water
通过这
quality
个
is
肉
just
眼去看，
superb,
其
and
实
we
是
collected some
清澈
sample
的
from
啊。
the
我们这个
river.
水
You
质大
can
概
see
能达
that
到。
it's super
这
lucid.
个在咱们的
So
进水
tell me
点，
something about the
三
water
河
quality
枢
here.
纽，还有咱们这个分水池，都
At
多次
the
进行水样
三河沟
采样和检测
A。water
经
project
过多次的检测，
and
水质都能达到地表水2类的水质标准，
Huangzhi Valley
整体水质情况挺好。
site.
我们国家这个水质一共是分了5级啊，第一级就是这个
So in China,
水质
the
较良好，我
water
们的
quality
这
is
个
divided
地下
into
水
5
通过
different
消
levels.
毒，
Number
地表
1,
水通过
it's
简单的
good,
这个净化
high
处理
quality,
呢，就能够供生活去
meaning
饮用。
after
这是
simple
一级水质。
purification,
那
the
2级水
groundwater
质
can
呢
be used
是这个
for
有轻微的污
can
染
be，
那我们通过常规的这种净化处理方式，你
used
比如说过滤
to
或者是消毒
for
和这个
drinking
沉淀的
purposes.
方式，可以
And
供这个
level
生活
2
饮用。那3类水质呢
means
是
it's
这
above
个集中
average,
生活
meaning
区
it
里面
has
的
to
这个
go
饮用水源
through
第2
some
级保护区，
sophisticated
以及我们
purification
这个鱼
process.
类的
And
保
level
护区
3
和游泳区，这个是3级。
is
那只有这个前
water
3级水
that
质
is
通过这个净化处
accommodating
理，可以
fish
供
and the
来
different
饮
water
用。
species.
那这
So
个4级
these
和
3
5级的
layers
水
or
质
3
是不能
levels
够做
of
饮用水的，4级水
water,
质是
they can
这个
be
工业用水和
used
人
for
类
drinking
非直接接
purposes
触的这种娱乐
after
用水。
purification.
5级水质是
And grade 4
农业
and
用
grade
水
5,
和
they
这
cannot
个
be
我们的
used
这个
directly, and
外面的
they
这种
can
景
be
观
used for
里面的区
industrial
域
and
用水。
agricultural
那所以说我们
or
现在的这
landscaping
个水质是
purposes.
2级水质，
It
我们
cannot be
从这
drunk
里供
directly.
给
So right now, the water quality
水
is
质呢，
at the
就是
level
2级水
of
质，它还
2.
要通过我们到时候运送过去的水厂进行一些这种净化处理，就能够提供
So
给居民
it
进
should
行这
be
个生活饮用。
transmitted to
好，我们
the
现在
water
进来
purification
看
plants
到的呢，就是这个黑河这
before
边的
it
一个
reaches
闸
the
室。我们现在看到的这
taps
个
of
机器
different
它
households.
是
So we are right now
啊，
at
这
a
个看
sluice
到的就
gate,
是
and what is
控制
this
闸
gate for?
通过控制闸
So this is
上
the
边的
control
有一
gate.
个升降设备，通过这闸室的起升或者降落，
So
主
we
要是控
have
制底下这
one
个过流断面，
elevation
然后
system
进一步
So this is
就控
simply
制闸
to
的水的流量。
control the
可以说就是我们通过控制
volume
这个
of
闸的高度
water
来
flow.
控制往出
So
水的这
through the
个流
control
量
of。the height of the gate,
好，
we
来我们
can
来看一下
control
这边的
the
这个一个表格啊，这
flow
个就是我
velocity and
们
volume
流量和
of
这
the
个
water.
开度的一个关系表。你比如说开
Now take
闸
a
的
look
这
at
个
this
如果开度在
table,
40公分
and
左
this
右的时
is
候，我
showing
们
you
这个
the
水位在
correlation between
512
the
二，
height
刚
of the
刚也
gate
看
and
到了那个
the
水，我们常
flow
规水位应
velocity
该
and
是
volume of the water, and you can see that at
514.88。
the
它在开度
water
0.4的时候，那
level
这
of
个流量就是8.09。那它在这个
then we have a
0.8，就
flow
是80
volume
公
of
分开度的时候，它的流量是
8.09 cubic meters per
13.09
second.
每立方
And at the height of 0.8
每立
meters,
方米一秒。
then
那
the
整个的这
flow
个
velocity is
大家可以看到这里和这里和这
13.09
里，其
cubic
实它
meters
两
per
个
second.
的这个
So you
值
can
是
see that
可以做到一样的，都可以达到这个11.9、11.54左右。
they
这
can
个是我们通过
reach
控制它的
around
这个高度，包
11.54
括
and
考虑到我们里面这个
11.9
水池里面的这个水位的这个
by
刻度来
controlling
进
the
行
height
一些
of the
调整。
gate.
对，因为沿线
So you can see that this is truly
情
a
况
precision
都在运行过程中都有一些变化。
project.
比如我这个需要水量是
Well,
多
we
少，
can only
然后就
strike
可以
for
根据
a
目前
dynamic
当前水池的
balance
水位情况，跟
in
我需要的
accordance
水量
with
情况，
the
根据这个
needs
表
for
选
water
择相
at
应
the
咱们的开
downstream
度，达
and
到
also
水
the
量需求。
flow capacity of the water at the
好
upstream.
的，那
And
我
then
们
you
这
also
个
need to strike a
2期
balance by
以及
controlling the
3期工程
exact
完工
height
之
of
后，我
the
们现在
sluice
所
gate.
在的黄池
So
沟
after
配水
phase
处
2
理
and
到
phase three projects are completed, then the Huangzhikou water supplement project could play a significant role. And tell me what kind of role it will play in the future. So when the phase 2 project is completed, we can significantly guarantee the water security of Xi'an City. It would benefit a total of 14 million people, and it will also generate a GDP of 1.4 trillion yuan. More importantly, we can supplement the water volume of the Yellow River by 600 to 700 million cubic meters. And this is of great significance to the industrial development of the Guangzhou Plain and the entire Shaanxi province.
和我们1期工程调水的这个已经都完成了建设啊。我们现在可以说汉江水已经被引入到了关中平原。那后期呢，还需要我们这个2期以及3期工程的完善，才能够将引来的汉江水分到我们这个关中平原以及渭河两岸的区域。那现在呢，我的同事宋宣尧就在这个南干线2期的建设现场。我们下面把时间交给他，看他的情况。
So the Han-to-Weihe River water diversion project covers water diversion and the supplement projects. And in the phase 2 project, we have a total target of more than 300 million cubic meter. And we will be able to cover 4 major cities. The south line goes through the northern slope of Qinling Mountains. And it will have several different sections with a total length of more than 200 kilometers. The Shaolin Yuan Tunnel is located at the Chang'an district of Xi'an City. The Shenmu Yuan Tunnel has a total length of 2,800 meters, and the Shaolin Yuan Tunnel has a total length of 860 meters. And they will be using drilling machines, and this will be the first time such large drilling machines are used in Shaanxi province. And the driver one drilling machine has a total capacity of more than 500 meters per month, and it has many different components such as conveyors and drilling head, and it will have a capacity of drilling a hole at the diameter of 4.4 meters. It can reach more than 120 millimeters per minute. We can not only prevent the collapse of structure underground, but at the meantime we can consolidate the structure, comparing to the traditional explosion method. This one is more secure, more resistant to the pressure of the landscape. It also has lesser impact over the environment nearby, and also has much less impact over the seismic structure. It also features a shorter construction cycle, so the basic logic is to simultaneously engage in many different parts of the work, for example, drilling and the removal of the debris from underground. Information-based management and mechanical engineering are used, so the entire project is like a production line, and this is able to improve the overall efficiency of the construction. And after the phase 2 project is completed, Xi'an, Xianyang, Weinan, Yangling, for major cities, they can have much more water. The same goes to 11 county-level cities. Guangzhou Plain and the southern part of Shaanxi province, they will be able to share the water from one same river. My name is Song Sanyao. I'm from CGTN TV. And right now,
观众朋友们，大家好，我是西安广播电视台的记者宋轩瑶。此刻我所在的位置呢是西安市长安区颍汉纪委2期工程的少陵园隧道的施工现场。那么我们刚刚也通过一个短片对于颍汉纪委工程还有我们少陵园隧道呢已经有了一定的了解。那么还要值得一提的是，少陵园隧道所使用的更进一号盾构机呢，其实它是我们陕西水利首次使用盾构法来进行施工。在今天的现场呢，我们也请到了颍汉纪委项目的经理。赵经理，您好。
My name is
我们
赵明亮，
的经理赵经理先来给我们打个招呼吧。
大家好，我是重点12局集团
give us some
颍汉纪委
introduction
2期工程项目经理赵明亮。
赵经理您好，先来给我们简单的来介绍一下2期工程吧。
Covers the Huangzhigou water supplement project. And the south line as well as the north line. The south line is 171 kilometers. It connects Zhouzi, Chang'an, and Dahe. And the north line is 136 kilometers, connecting Wugou, Xinping, Jinyang.
北干线是131.6公里，它是途经武功。
So the entire Phase 2 project has an investment of 19.9 billion yuan.
整个2期工程的投资
Our company is engaged in Shenheyuan and Shaoling tunnels with a total length of 11 kilometers. The Shenheyuan tunnel is more than 8,000 meters. The total investment is 270 million yuan. We have a construction cycle of 5 months. Right now, the key challenge of the project is that we have to cross a highway as well as a high-speed railway. So you are seeing that we have very sophisticated land structures.
也就是说，我们的
Yes,
这个
that's
项目的
only
难
part
度
of
就
the
在于它
project,
这里的
and
地质比较
also
复
the
杂。
tunnel is very long, 8,000 meters. So why are you using the drilling machine?
那您来跟我们说一下，为什么咱们这个隧洞它
Well, this
要
is
利用
determined
这个
by
盾构
the
法来进
features
行
of
施
the
工呢？
project.
它这个是根据这个
Number one, much safer because whenever we make 1 inch further inside, we can add 1 layer of supporting columns or panels on the wall, and we can simultaneously fill the gap with cement, and this is actually giving a lot of support to the oval arc or the surface of the inside of the tunnel, so it's much safer. Traditionally, we are using explosives, and if you do that, you can have unexpected deformation of the structure. You can also expect some sudden flush of water. Every day we can dig about 15 meters, and at the best day we can dig 24 meters. It can go much faster in the future. But if you are using the traditional methodology, you can only dig some 3 to 4 meters every day. So we are much more efficient. It's also cost-effective by our calculation. If you use the drilling machine, you can save a lot of money. And so to sum up, it's safe, it's efficient, it's cost-effective at the same time. So this is the first time that drilling machine is operating in Shaanxi, and so what are the differences between using the drilling machine for tunnels and for subways? But for subways, it's not very long. It's only 2 kilometers, and it's not too deep. It's 20-30 meters underground. But here we're talking about a very long tunnel. For this tunnel, we're talking about the length of 8,600 meters, and it's sometimes 140 meters below the ground level, so it's much more difficult and challenging. So we are right now at this construction site. So tell me the work logics of the drilling machine. So we have a model here, and let me give you some introduction.
好，这正好有个这个盾构
It
机
has
的
the
模
three
型，我们
parts.
借助这个模型，给大家介绍一下。我们所使用的奋进1号盾构机。
It has the total length of 150 meters, and that is the drilling head that is 11 meters
全长
long.
是150米，其中我们的主机就这部分。
Put all the three modules together, it's 140 meters long. The total weight is 500 tons. Most of the weight is concentrated in the front, and it's 300 tons
500吨，但是它的
at
重
the
量呢，
drilling
就是
head.
全部集中在这个
And
前
it
面，
has
前面就
the
大概达到了有将近300吨。
capacity of
它的整
120
个
millimeters
装机功
per
率是1735
minute.
千瓦，这个
And this drilling head has the diameter of 5.38 meters,
就前面这个刀
and
板，
this
我们
is
刀盘开发直径是
suitable
53
for
刀
all
盘的开口
types
力
of
是
soil and
14
structure.
就适
So
合
this
咱
is
这
the
种
shield
软土
tunneling
的
machine or a drilling head.
所以说
So
使用这个盾构法是非常
when it
契合我们
works,
这儿的
and
地
this
形
part
的。
will
对
spin,
就是盾构机整个工作
and you
过
can
程
see
就是
that
通过
we
这个前
have
面这个刀
one
盘这个
big
旋转，
tube here,
切
and
削这
all
个
the
整个
debris
土体到了这个土仓以后，
could
通
be
过可以
conveyed
传输
from
看到这个
this
小的这个螺旋
tube,
机，螺旋机从螺旋机
and then they will fall on the conveyor.
从螺旋机输送出来以
And
后，在
using
螺
this
旋机上
conveyor,
面有
the
个
debris
下料口，
could be
下料口把它
transported
吊到这个皮带机上，
to outside. So this is the drilling process. And when we are drilling, we are also
就是
laying the pipeline and also the different plates on the inner wall. So this is the process that we're talking about. So through this model, we can see the working logic of this
我们
the
通过这
drilling
样一个
machine,
简单的
and
模型，已
we
经
are
看到
now
了
at
它的
the
一个
entrance
工
of
作的
this
原理。
tunnel,
那
and
我
it
们
can
现在
give
呢
me
也已经
more
走入到了这个洞口的
vivid
旁边啊
introduction.
也请
So you
您
can
来给
see
我们
this
简
is the
单的来
conveyor.
介绍一下。
大家可以看到，
And all the
现在我们
debris
现在在转动
are
的这
actually
个就是
conveyed
动
from
力的
this
皮带机
conveyor.
就盾构机切
And you
下
can
这
see
个
it's
洞内的
currently
土体，
working,
通过
and
这个
it's
连续
connected
皮带
to
机
a lot of
运输到洞
trucks.
外，运输到洞外
So what is the
运到
blue
上头以
colored
后，完了再
components?
拿
So this
拉去
is
装置
the
完了再运
ventilation.
输走。
Well, because the
那上面这个
tunnel
蓝
is
色的桶是一个
very
什么样的状态？
这个
narrow,
蓝
we
色
have to
的是我们的通
constantly
风机，
bring fresh
隧道
air
它
into
是
the
一个
tunnel
对
so
是一个
that
狭
the
小的
air
作业
is actually
我们可以
flowing,
利用这个
and also
通风
we
把
can
这个
reduce
新鲜
the
的空
temperature.
气要输送到洞内，保证这个洞内的空气要流通。第二个也可以起到这个降温的作
All
用。
right, to our right side, we have a bridge-like
好，
structure.
那我
And
们
what
再
is
往右
that?
边走。
So
其实
this
我看
is
到右边
actually
有很多大型的
a
装
lifting
置啊，比如说
machine,
正前
a
方
weight
这个
lifting
像
machine,
桥一样
and
的这
all
个
the
东西，这个
materials
是
that you use,
这
the
个是那个
pipeline,
门
the
式起重机
plates,
就是我们所有
are
隧道
actually
内
hoisted
用的这些材料
using this
管片啦
weight lifting
钢
machine,
轨了水管
and
都
then
通过
we
这个
put
门式
them
起重
onto
机
the
吊装
small
到这个
wagons.
我们前面这个
And you can take a look at those
我
wagons.
们叫做有轨运输的
And
小
this
车
is
上
like trains.
小车上完了
All the
运到洞内
materials are
我
transported
们这个
inside
小
the
车
tunnel
大家可以
using
看到
this
这个就是
structure. We have the
我们所有的就是洞
locomotive
内
at
所
the
有用的
first
材料都是
at
通
the
过这些
most
小车
front part.
运到洞内的。它最前面是一个
And this
机
is
头
like a
它是个
train.
电瓶车，是个电瓶驱动
提供动力的。
啊，对，是个电驱动。第二节是个就是同步注浆浆液用的一个砂浆车，就是
You can see
同步
that
注浆用的
we
浆
are
液就是通过
transporting
这个砂浆车运到洞内。
plates
后边4节呢，
supporting
大家可以看到
building
这个
blocks
前3
for
节
the
是运送管
inner
片
side
的，
of the
后边1
tunnel.
节就是运
And
运
you
送一
talked
些平
about
常
those
隧道里边用的一些
plates,
小
and
材
I
料
believe
啊小
that
零件。
those are the
您
inner
刚刚说
walling
到这个管
material
片，我们也
for
走
the
进来
tunnel.
看一下。
Yes,
这个管
exactly,
片
because
没有
after
猜错的
we
话，它应该就是我们隧洞的这个外
drew
缘，对吧？
through the mountain,
对
we
对
have
对
to
就是
constantly
掘进完
put
成以
them
后
on the
同步拼装
inside
这个
of
衬气管片。
the wall.
那这个管片
And
它
for
大概
each
是一
circle,
个
we
外
have
缘
to
需要
use
几块
6
这样的管片？
such plates,
它一环
and
是
this
由
is
6块组成
actually
的。6块组成的
steel
这个管片是
concrete.
用这
For
个
each
金属
circle,
的
we're
钢筋混
using
凝土浇筑
6
而成。
such
浇筑而成
structures.
它是
We have
一
3
环
on
是
each
6
side.
块，它分为这
2
个
are actually supporting
3块的这
the
个
structures on both
标准
sides,
块
and
2块的这个临接
2
块，
are
还有
actually
1块的这个
supporting
封顶
the
块。
arc that is above your
看到
head.
的因为看到了
And this one
这6
is
块，这
actually
6块就
used
是
at
一
the
组，它
very
相当于
top.
是个一环。
So this is
这个最上面
prefabricated
最小
in
的
a
这个就是
in a cement
封顶块
plant.
封顶块它设计上是
And
一头
this
大
is
完了一
the
头小。
last piece to
这
be
块一般在安装的时候，最后就一环当中最后一块安装。
我们可以看到左边的这个和右边的好
So
像
this is the
一
last
眼就能
piece
看
to
出来，
be
别，好像多了
put
一
on the
些中间的这
patchwork.
个粘
And
的
you
这
can
个带子，
see
这个是用来做什
some
么的？
rubbers.
这是防水层，我们可以看一下
And it's on what are those? And this is actually for water resistance purposes. We have red layer and we have also a black layer, which is actually a sealant. And they are for water resistance purposes because water may saturate the structure and the water they may flow from the mountains into the tunnel. So we have to prevent that. And also we have to prevent water streams from entering these structures so that the structure may be undermined. So we have some holes at the black sealant layer. And what are those for? So we have to use the sealant, which is cushioning the pressure of the different plates. So what is the diameter of this circle? So the inner diameter is 4.4 meters, and the outer diameter is actually 6.6 meters. So for each circle, it's actually about 6 meters in diameter. So how many circles we're talking about for this tunnel? We actually have to use more than 7,600 circles of these plates.
刚刚呢，也听赵经理给我们详细的介绍了一下这个盾构机的工作原理。那下面呢，就让我们通过一个小小的动画短片，来加深一下了解。
Now let's play a small video clip to gain more knowledge about the drilling machine. So this is one machine doing multiple tasks at the same time. And you can see that those plates, they are pushed to the right place and then pressed against the wall. In the meantime, they are providing a propulsion force to the drilling machine going forward. And normally for a tunnel, you need at least 100 circles of such plates. And when a drilling machine is working, the drilling head is spinning to cut the structure such as soil and stone and debris from the mountains, and then the debris put on a conveyor that transmit all the debris outside. And it has to stop every once in a while just to lay the building blocks of the inner side of the wall. The drilling machine is able to transmit or transport multiple plates at one time, and the drilling machine is able to put them at the right place. It is able to grab the plate and then rotate it and then put it on the right place of the wall. And after the one circle of plates are laid, and then the drilling machine would go ahead again. And while it is going forward, cement is injected into the inner layer of the plates so as to fix it, the plate layer and the structure. So this is how they repeat the process and progress ahead inside the mountain structure. It's multitasking, and at the last 100 meters, they have to calibrate the different parameters just to make sure that it is moving along the right direction. And when the entire tunnel is made through, they have to remove all the cables and then
欢迎回来，我们现在来到了项目的智慧工地管理中心，大家可以看到我的身后有这样的一块大屏啊。那这个大屏上到底有些什么内容呢？
And we have a large screen behind us, and Mr. Zhao will tell us more about the screen. So this is the control center of the drilling machine. You can see, and this is the monitoring data. You can see the green one, the orange one, the color-coded simply represent the 16 different propelling tanks. From the data, you can see that right now the overall propulsion force is more than 11,000 newtons, and the speed is 45 millimeters per minute. And you can set the speed here. You can also understand the pressure here and also the angle of the drilling machine. And you have to correspond this chart with the figures shown on this table. This is 1072. This is by millimeter. So when that figure reaches 1500, that means the current circle is completed, and then you need to lay the building blocks for the inner side of the wall. And this is a chart for us to understand the working position of the drilling machine. This one, for example, -3. This is actually by millimeter. It is millimeter showing us that the drilling machine is in a right position as it is supposed to be. And you can see that we have completed 8,800 meters, and we have still 500 meters to go. So this is the drilling head, and this is spinning in a clockwise manner, and this shows that it's currently working. The rotating speed is 1.48 rounds per minute. And we also have different colors, number 1, number 2, number 3. This is telling us the pressure at different part of the drilling head. So whenever we encounter any anomalies, we are going to adjust the parameters. So this figures the updating in a real-time basis, and you can see that our drilling machine is currently working, and we know where they are and how they are working, and is there any problems that they encounter. So this conveyor is telling us the speed, the pressure, the load, everything. You have to make sure that all the data can match. And this is the conveyor. And you can see that this is the load capacity of the conveyor, which is 72 tons. And because each step of the wheel you go forward, you have to transport the debris outside. And we can simply know whether everything is perfect by reading the weight of the conveyor, because it has to be exactly the same for the same distance that you move inside. And you can also take a look at the footage from the surveillance camera. We have video surveillance system, and this is the conveyor. And all the debris being transported outside, and we can take a look at the color of the soil, and we would know what kind of soil structure we are dealing with. So this is the best working status, because it is working in a very steady manner, and the water humidity, the humidity of the soil is in its best position. Through this surveillance camera system, we can understand the progress of the plates laying, and we can use the walkie-talkies to tell the people working on the next shift what kind of materials they need to make ready for. So take a look at the outer layer of the plates, and you can see that they are already well laid. This is the control console of the drilling machine, and this guy is our chief driver, or chief operator of the system. And all the data is actually transmitted by him. So he has to understand all the different dimensions of the drilling machine. This is the video surveillance camera system for location, and all the people, they are wearing a helmet with a sensor on it, and if they walk around, we would know where they are, what are they up to, and this is the conveyor, and this is simply to see whether the conveyor is moving to different angles. Whenever we encounter such situation, we have to immediately rectify the situation. So that means that we can actually see what is going on inside the tunnel. So we know the Phase 2 project is very important because we're dealing with a lot of tunnels. And tell me what significances are there for this project? Well, the Phase 2 project in the South Line is the major part of the entire project. It is actually a connecting project. And when water can flow through the South Line, then it will reach the Guangzhou Plain, and that will play a very important role in supplementing water for the region of Xi'an and the southern part of Shaanxi province. If we could achieve our targets on time, and that means water can flow to its designated position on time. So this is truly very important, and we know that this is the largest project in Shaanxi, and we believe that by the time it is fully completed, it will bring substantial benefits to other people living at the downstream. All right, thank you very much for watching our program. Bye.